It's my feel-good breakfast show. Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary Hotline, bling!
That can only
Feel it
mean
in
one
your
thing.
bones. Welcome back to another installment of the Culinary Hotline. Bling! Ting, ting, ting! Music to my ears. We've got Chef Clem standing by to answer any of your culinary conundrums. And if you have a question, call us right now on this number, 021 110 552. We want to take your calls. And we've got a call right now. Hello, hello. I think we've got Joanne on the line. Very good morning. How are you doing, Joanne?
Hi, yes, good morning. I'm fine. How are you guys?
We are so excited to have you connect with us. We love the Culinary Hotline Bling. We love the fact that you are there with, I'm hoping, a burning question that's really going to test Chef Clem, because he knows everything, okay? So we want you to push him. So what have you been struggling with? What is your culinary conundrum, Joanne?
Dumplings. I have a real problem making dumplings. I've got about 3 different recipes, and let me tell you something, they all just sink to the bottom of the pot and they never cook.
Look, I'm glad you're keeping a sense of humor about it, but it can be very frustrating. So I'm going to hand over to Chef Clem now, who I'm going to put you on speakerphone, and I'm going to hand over to Chef Clem. What's gone wrong? What's the dud in the dumplings of Joanne?
So, dumplings, they're quite easy to make. They really are. But you get the odd dad dumpling that will sink, which is strange. But what I really like about this dumpling is we've had this hero recipe that we've been featuring for the past few weeks. It's our 2-ingredient dough, which is the yogurt and the self-raising flour.
Yogurt, self-raising flour. Okay.
And the magic about that recipe is that the baking powder or the self-raising, the raising element inside the flour reacts with the yogurt. So when you shape it, and when you put it into your stew or whatever you're cooking your dumplings in, whether it be a soup, they'll automatically rise and just start puffing up. It's so simple. And once you get that ratio right of the yogurt to your self-raising flour, you can then make the recipe your own. Add some cheese to it, add some herbs to it, add some spice to it. The recipe does not fail. The 2-ingredient dough is the way.
It's a recipe where you can add half a cup of cooked mashed potato.
The potato dumplings are also really great, but what you must remember is potato dumplings are very dense. So you need to get your ratio of potato to flour correct. We'll try and find a perfect ratio for you, and we'll get you details to get to the recipe. But the potato dumplings, they are heavier than normal flour, and that might be why they're sinking. A good idea with potato dumplings is to use ricotta cheese. Ricotta cheese adds richness to it, but also lightens your potato dumpling. Do you like ricotta cheese?
Okay.
Nice, I like the sound of that. Joanne, so there you've got 2 surefire ways. The 2-ingredient dumplings, the yogurt with the self-raising flour might be the answer you've been looking for. Good luck. Please send us a picture of your beautiful, scrumptious dumplings as they rise to the occasion.
Hey.
Thank you so much. It's absolutely great to be participating on the show.
Thank you, Joanne.
We love you, Joanne. We absolutely love you. Sorry, Clem's taken. He's engaged.
I'm engaged.
So he's taken. Stop flirting, please. Okay, so let's get busy with your questions on Facebook. Jack from Facebook would like to know this. How do I make meatballs not break down or crumble? They're falling apart. And Gift and poor Mumpa also was struggling with the meatballs. He was asking, how do I make meatballs? Just generally, how do I make... This is something I'd like to know. How do you make meatballs?
Meatballs are absolutely great. You can use chicken mince, pork mince, lamb mince, beef mince.
A mixture of minces.
Mixture of minces, absolutely. You could even use seafood and make a seafood meatball, a little prawn meatball. Hey, I love prawn and pork meatballs. Hey. So the most important thing is if your meatballs are falling apart, people often think that they need to add a binding agent to bind them. You don't need to. You don't need to. So all you have to do is really work on shaping a meatball really well. So essentially all you need is some good, I always start with a quality product. That's the thing. There could be other funky bits going on in your mince, like soy. We don't want that in our mince. We want 100% pure
clean, beautiful meat.
That's what we want. So the good thing about when you're working with any type of meat...
Fatty, non-fatty?
Hey, I like a good ratio of fat in my meatballs.
Because that's going to render, that's the flavour. Fat
and when it comes to meat, fat is flavour. And people are scared when it comes to fatty meats, right? Especially with mince. But the thing is, I like the word that you use, rendered. When you're actually searing your meat, you're rendering that fat out, and the fat actually flavours your burger patty, your meatball, your fricadelles. which is good. So we want a bit of fat in there. If you are going to go with a very lean mince and you want to add some extra texture to it or extra flavor to it, you could substitute and add some extra fat back. So if you want, we've got this beef and
Gee whiz.
gee whiz. So you got some beef mince, you wanted to add some fat back to it, a bit of bacon. How's that?
bacon, huh?
There we go. So the good thing about using a good quality mince, and I'm saying honestly, that's where you begin with your product. If you use, and I buy I buy the Woolies mince, you don't need any binding agent. The mince it's got everything it needs to hold its shape perfectly fine. But what I love about meatballs is you can make it your own. I mean, we know the Swedish are like the king of the meatballs, right?
Really? Are they?
Yeah, Swedish meatballs?
Swedish meatballs, is
No.
it? Okay.
Yeah, okay, we'll find someone Swedish next week in Culinary Hotline and just get the confirmation on that one. But what I love, every single culture has a meatball of their own. And like we said, we have the frikadel.
Yeah.
That's our official South African meatball.
That's our version. I love it. Frikadel,
A
roll,
frikadel.
boom. I'm smelling curried meatballs over here.
So what I'm going to say now is to all our viewers that are asking about questions about the meatballs, I'm going to give you a surefire way to get your meatballs not to break up, but to actually turn a normal meatball into one amazing dish with a bit of South African flavor. We're going to make a curried meatball. Does it sound good? Okay, we're starting
please.
off. Yeah, starts off with, again, best quality mince. So go to Woolies, get your mince. This is beef mince, but like again, you can chicken, lamb, whatever you
pork.
want, make it your own. It starts off with salt, because if you think about a steak, right, we always talk about the fact that you should always season your steak.
Season.
An unseasoned steak is a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah? And if you think about beef mince, all it is those like beautiful cuts of beef that have been processed and they ended up just being ground up.
It's a beautiful cut of meat, so treat it as such. Okay.
It still needs that love, which comes from the salt. So a nice amount of salt going in there. And I'm using flake salt, but at home I'd use a normal table salt.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going in there. Some pepper.
Not fussy, you were just being fancy for the show. Okay.
What's that? Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, normal salt is perfectly fine. Coriander's great, and that's also something you'll find in frikadels as well. So kind of like the inspiration of a frikadel, but I'm just making the beautiful sauce.
Just chop it finely, because I think that's often where, if you've got big pieces of herbs and things in there, that might be what causes the breakup.
Especially coriander, you want that really fine, don't you?
Rather, the safest way is just leave the coriander out.
So, I mean, our viewers at home should know that you're not a big coriander fan, but
No,
hopefully...
look, I mean, the world is divided into two halves, those that like coriander and those that don't, okay?
So, in other words, the good people and then the others.
And the dubious
And
kind.
the
The dubious coriander haters.
So, like a steak as well, my rule is when you're cooking mince for a frikadel or for a meatball and you want to get extra flavor out of it, you sear it. And the way you're going to sear it with nice hot pan, and you get that crust on the outside.
Seal that
flavor.
Okay.
So I've just took my pan off the heat because it's quite hot right now. I'm going to go in with a little bit of ginger.
All right.
A little bit of garlic. And a little bit of green chili. And we love these little packs of like the pre-chopped garlic, ginger, chili.
Everything you need.
Everything in
completely.
there. So we're going to shape it up. Now, I'm keeping the turmeric to the side because I'm going to use the turmeric to make a little curry sauce.
Okay, and because you don't want yellow hands.
Yeah. Here's another thing. You should always work with your mince when it's cold.
Okay.
When you work with your mince and it's too warm, and if you overwork the mince, they end up becoming very chewy and bouncy. And we're not making any bouncy balls, we're making beautiful, soft, delicate meatballs. So work with your fingertips when you are working the flavors into your mince. Get that back onto the heat. Turn that down a bit. And we're gonna shape little meatballs. You want small ones, you want big ones? What do you want, Graham?
Big ones, man.
Oh my goodness.
Big ones.
Okay,
Come on.
okay.
Silly.
There we go. So look, this is about a golf ball. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay, so the golf ball's going in there, and we're gonna let it just sear off now. And you wanna hear that. You wanna make sure that you get that good sizzle.
It's hot when it hits, so it can create that crust, that seal.
If your pan's not hot enough, what'll happen is it's gonna kind of stew, and the moisture's gonna come out of your meatball. And we don't want that, because that's gonna stop your meatball from browning. And again, we said the browning on the outside of the meatball is all the flavor. It's a reaction between the sugars in the protein and the heat, and that just makes things so delicious. The Maillard reaction.
The
Maillard reaction?
Is that a real
That's
thing?
about the
Did you make
caramelization
it up,
of
or is that a real?
Hey, Professor Pedro in the house today.
The prof. Okay, so once we've done that, you've got your sear on it, then we move on to a la curry.
Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a curry sauce. And normally you do spaghetti and meatballs, and you brown up your meatballs, you make a beautiful tomato sauce. We keep it a little local, so we're going to do like a nice little curry sauce to go with it. And all I'm doing for that is, let me first get my hands washed here real quick. Let's check on a little bit of that sear. Don't, like a steak as well, once the meatball hits the pan, don't fiddle with it.
Just
let it take
it
the time
really
to
form that crust.
But I think we've got a crust on there now.
Perfect.
A bit of that crust, exactly what you want. So I'm going to kind of fast forward, let it just keep on doing this thing, but we're going to start building up on that sauce. A little bit of the onion going in, and this is the curry sauce we're going to build. And the minute it's already smelling amazing, it's all the ingredients that's already in there. When you add your onions in there, you want to kind of cook your onions down, let them brown, and when they brown slowly, they become very sweet.
Sweet.
You often find people add sugar to their curry, but if you cook your onions, cook your onions correctly, that's going to be the sweetness in your
onions
curry.
have massive amounts of sugar in there, so quickly fly through the remainder of the ingredients that are going
I'm
into
going to
that
add my
pan.
remaining aromatics to the pan. I'm going to add a little bit of
Now you
water,
put the
curry
turmeric in.
leaves, and then the water goes in there. That's going to be my curry sauce. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of yogurt at the end. And what we're going to end up with are these beautiful meatballs in the curry sauce served over steamed rice. That is, I mean, I love mince, super budget friendly, but that's a great way to get dinner on the table in half an hour.
Something slightly different and bucket loads of flavor. Jack and Gift, I hope that answers your question. This is how you create the perfect meatball, whether you're Swedish, whether you're looking for an Indian inspiration, or the South African frikadelle. We absolutely love it. Give us a call if you've got any questions. 021 110 552. The culinary conundrum is open. We are here to take your questions in the culinary hotline. Bling!
Ting, ting, ting.
It's my feel-good breakfast show. Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary Hotline Bling.
That can only
Yeah,
mean
you know
one
what that
thing.
sound means. It can only mean one thing. Welcome back to the culinary hotline. Bling!
Ting, ting, ting.
Well done, son. We're joined by Chef Clem, obviously, and a very special young culinary guest and superstar in the making, 12-year-old Baldomero Bayetha. He's a young aspiring chef that has always been interested in cooking, but his love for cooking really sparked during the lockdown, like a lot of us when helping his mom in the kitchen. And he even started a YouTube channel, which we'll give the details to. Baldo!
Hello.
Baldo for president. Welcome to it, my friend. Chef Clem's a bit intimidated.
Yes, because you got the chef hat.
You got the hat.
That means you mean business.
You mean business. Baldo, how are you doing, bro?
Good, and you?
I'm very good, man. Thank you so much for joining us today. So you learned from your mom. Is your mom your inspiration?
Yes.
What's your mom's name?
Elena.
Elena. And she nodded, gave me the nod of approval when I pronounced your surname. So that was one thing I got right. So what are you going to be making for us this morning? What is the inspiration here?
I will be making my own homemade pesto sauce.
Ooh. This is quite an adult taste, pesto. That's quite a complex, you know, kind of thing. What got you onto pesto?
The fact that everybody likes it.
Everybody loves pesto.
It's a surefire, it's a win, it's delicious. Well, buddy, I'm going to let you work your magic. Take us through what's going into your pesto and you can start making it, man. Go for it.
So first of all, you need your ingredients.
Okay.
40 grams of pecorino cheese, 40 grams of Parmigiano cheese, 80 grams of basil, 40 grams of walnuts, and 80 grams of olive oil, and 5 grams of salt.
Perfect,
Love
man.
it.
But it sounds a lot cooler when you say it with a bit of an accent.
I know.
Hey?
Pecorino.
Why don't you have a cool accent like that,
sorry,
man?
man.
Come on, can you work
You've got
on
to
it?
roll your R so hard. I dig it. I mean,
yeah.
just say your full name and surname again.
Baldomero Bayetha Padovano.
Cheers, guys. I'm
Wait,
out.
did you
I
just
mean,
list the ingredients again, or did you say your name? I couldn't.
My name.
it's so amazing.
Crazy.
I will eat any food from anybody that speaks like with such a intense. Just go, just do it.
Beautiful, man. Okay, so get going. Yeah, what starts?
So
Okay.
first things first, you want your basil.
Okay.
So you want to take it, and you only want the leaves. You don't want the stems.
The stalks.
So you've got to
Okay.
try to take it all out.
I love basil. It's
gotta-
my favorite herb, honestly. I mean, for me, having pesto on just basil, mozzarella, tomato with this pesto over the top, magic. One of
And
my
how do
favorite
you
herbs.
have your pesto at home?
I have it either on the pasta, crackers, or just on a toast.
All
I
right.
love that, man. And I'm sure your family absolutely loves this. Do they make you make pesto
every time
every day?
yeah, every time I make
Shame on
it,
you, Mom. Shame on you.
it finishes like
That's so good.
within an hour or so.
So besides pesto, what else do you make at home?
A lot of pasta.
Because your mom's half Spanish, half Italian.
Yes.
I mean, what a combination.
That's a magical mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a magical mix, man. You were born to be a culinary superstar.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
I like
we've
that
got-
you're using two cheeses as well, the pecorino and the parmesan as well. The pecorino is a
Yeah.
little sharper, a little saltier, and the parmesan gives you that nice nutty, creamy flavor.
Yeah, the reason
That's
I'm
so-
using the pecorino is because it gives a little bit of kick because it's a bit like spicy.
Okay.
So it just gives the pesto a little kick.
I like that.
And it's pesto's got a zing. It's got to have that flavor. It's got to be a
Yeah.
flavor
Yeah.
burst. You don't want no weak insipid pesto.
And I also
Yeah.
like that you're using walnuts. I mean, instead of the traditional pine nuts,
Yeah.
you're making it your own, and I really like that. Sometimes those pine nuts can be a little bitter. The walnuts are really delicious.
Yeah, the pine nuts can be a little bit like too crunchy and hard.
All right.
So have you made this on your YouTube channel?
No, not yet. I've only uploaded one video. We just don't
Well,
have
now
too
you've got
much
two.
time.
You can upload this when you're done as well.
Exactly.
Graham, where's your YouTube channel?
I'll get there. When I pick up a skill, okay, when I develop some kind of magical skill, I will do it, man. Maybe I'll steal this recipe.
I think so.
Absolutely
It's
love it.
delicious.
Okay, so we've got our
Let me do
lovingly
the rest
made.
of the puzzle for you while you go on.
Oh,
with the
now
rest
you
of the-
step in, dude.
You know what? I let him do the hard work, and I just came in.
Okay, then you want to add your salt.
Okay.
5 grams of salt.
It's very precise. 5 grams.
Yeah. Don't want too much, but then afterwards, if you feel like it needs more salt, you can add more.
Such a chefy thing to say. Say, born to
Then-
be a TV chef.
Then you add your cheeses, the pecorino.
Who's the best cook in your home?
Probably my mom.
Okay, and she is watching right now. She's like, yeah, she's nodding. She's nodding. Brownie points. Well done.
The fact that you took a moment there and you were like, oh, probably my
My
mom.
mom, yeah.
Probably.
And
Probably me.
what's your favorite dish that she makes?
Probably the lasagna.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, oh man.
You want to add your 40 grams of walnuts.
And this, because that's key to a good pesto is the nuttiness, eh?
Yeah.
It's got to have that kind of nutty.
And if you,
Yeah.
don't have walnuts, you could use, besides I love your recipe. At home, if viewers had cashews, they could use cashews. They'll make it a little more creamy pesto. Use
Yeah.
some almonds. I just love the nuttiness that you get from walnuts. It's so delicious.
Yeah, for sure.
Then you want to add half of your olive oil.
Okay.
Not all of it, because then while we're making it, we're going to pour in some more.
That way you can kind of control the consistency, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you want to put the cap on and blend it. How on earth do you put this on?
There we go. Let me give you a hand with that
Yeah.
one.
My fiance absolutely loves pesto. Now, she's never going to let me get away with store-bought pesto again. I'm going to have to
Ever.
start making it myself. Yummy.
Can we give it a little more oil? Just to help it blend up a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh,
But pesto's so great. I mean, like you said, we all love pesto, and we normally buy it from stores, which is really great. But I mean, knowing how to make a pesto,
But
it's
you also
absolutely
then
amazing.
you know it's fresh and it's delicious, and you can also make it on mass. You can make it like
Oh,
enough
absolutely.
volume yourself.
Can I tweak your recipe a little bit? Can I put a little bit of water in just to help it blend?
Yes.
He says yes. The chef said it's
you're
fine.
allowed.
It's okay.
Don't go getting ahead of yourself
No.
thinking you
There
can.
we go.
Too
There we go.
much.
There we go.
We're
Not too
happy.
much.
Yeah.
Oh, it smells amazing
I know,
already.
how fresh
Let me
does
just shake it
that-
up a bit.
Yeah, it can get stuck very easily.
You can do it. There we go. Oh man, you can smell the basil freshness.
Oh, it smells
Yeah.
so good. I'm gonna give it a good mix.
Then you
mix
just want
that
to push
through.
it down.
And that is a trick of the pesto. You gotta kind of like make sure all the ingredients get in there, get mixed through. Let me just grab this one as well to bring this
Man,
back.
why
Oh.
didn't you bring any crackers with you, man? You didn't bring any crackers with, and now we're not going to be able to taste that.
Especially,
Taste it off the spoon.
Oh.
It's
I
good.
will, man.
Graham, you
That's
can
the
hold it
chef's right
down to
thinking,
that. There
man.
you go.
It'll taste right now.
Especially because, I mean, the change of seasons, you want to eat a lot lighter, more vibrant flavors, and I think a pesto is a great way to do that.
Yeah.
So you can see it's all happening.
It's so dramatic.
Hey!
Ole!
Well done. That looks so...
Gole! Hey, that looks... The color is popping.
Yeah, it must be a very light green.
Beautiful, man.
I dig it. Can I give it a taste?
Yes.
Hey, buddy. Tell me if the two cheeses don't make it, eh?
Okay, can I have all of
The Baldo
that?
special, you can.
No, I'm just like, that's so delicious. It's so good. It's so
having-
vibrant and delicious. I would have that on absolutely anything. Well done.
Anything.
What do you think, Graham?
Some beautiful water crackers. I'm going to make a tricolore salad, and I'm going to put this on it.
He's just trying to show off now by like saying things that sound
It just
exotic.
sounds silly, man. It sounds silly when I say it. Baldo, you're an absolute
Well
super
done.
fucking elbow, man.
Can we give the young chef a hand?
Absolutely beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. Really, really amazing to meet a young guy that is so inspired, that is, I think, helping other young guys and girls out there feel inspired about being in the kitchen. Thanks to Mom and the rest of the beautiful family for help fostering this. When you've got another new amazing recipe, we'll bring you back on the show. You up for that?
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we get another round of applause for our superstar, Baldo? What a pleasure, my man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's my feel-good breakfast show. Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary Hotline Bling.
That
Oh,
can
bye, Dawn. Thank you so much. What a beautiful home, beautiful family, beautiful human being. Absolutely love that. But time for us to get into the Culinary Hotline Bling.
Ting, ting, ting.
One last time. And, of course, Baldo is sticking around. Chef Clem is here, and both of them hate pickles.
Which is why I brought
don't
Baldo back.
understand.
No.
I don't
No.
understand.
Cucumber.
Ah.
And it's just, I don't know why don't you like cucumber?
I don't know, just...
We'll get you there.
Weird.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get you there. So Clark, Samantha said, Chef, those pickles behind you, look at those beautiful pickle jars Nicole created so lovingly. Which vinegar do you use to pickle them in? We love pickles. I
love
love
pickles.
pickles. Pickles and cheese, come
Oh,
on.
pickles and pickles.
Pickles and pickles.
Absolutely.
So we're in a pickle. First of all, how do you pickle?
So the thing about pickling is when it's all sort of from preserving. It's a way to keep things for longer. Back in the day, there was no refrigeration. So the way they kept food to last throughout a season was by pickling it. So it's very, very simple. You would use an acid, and for the acid today, we're using vinegar. And I'm using plain white vinegar, the cheapest vinegar you can find on the shelf.
This is how Nonna would have done it. Is that right? Is that...
Look at you. Hey,
Hey, come on.
I like it. So I've got plain white vinegar, and the truth of the matter is you could use brown vinegar, malt vinegar, white vinegar. Where I'd say you stop is when it gets to balsamic vinegar.
Okay.
The flavor, balsamic vinegar is extremely
It's gonna
strong.
change the flavor.
And the
Cool.
texture, exactly. And it's also quite expensive. It's not necessary. So plain white vinegar goes in there, but with any pickling recipe, you have to get your ratios right. So we've added, which is very bitter, sour, that acidity level, you want to balance it out with a bit of sweetness.
Okay.
Because what happens while these ingredients are sitting in the jar, they actually take on the flavor
They
of your
infuse,
pickle.
yeah.
Exactly. So you
Cool.
want to get those flavors right. So I've got white vinegar in there. I'm hit it with a bit of sugar.
Okay.
You could use honey. You could use agave nectar.
Okay.
Anything that's going to lend that nice sweetness to your base. Then now you can do whatever you like.
Okay.
How do you feel about chili?
A little bit is fine.
A little bit.
A little bit of heat, we call it.
Is one okay?
One.
Okay. So I like using dried chilies because if you're going to use fresh chilies, you'll sometimes see that they end up like, it's fine. You can use fresh chili if you like. I just like the flavor you get from dried chilies, okay? And it slowly releases its flavor and a little bit of heat.
Cool.
That's going in there. Peppercorns are really great. Again, it's just going to add flavor to your pickle.
It also looks really cool if you can see the peppercorn.
Yeah, little dots of black in there is really great. Mustard seeds are something that I love in pickles, and you do see them a lot in stores and in restaurants when they do their own pickles. They use mustard seeds. And if you think about the beautiful tang that you get from mustard powder, you kind of get a bit of that coming through from your mustard seed. Do you like mustard?
Kind of.
A little bit? Spicy or mild mustard? The good yellow stuff.
We'll win you
That's
over, man.
the one.
We'll win you over.
Yeah.
We're broadening his palate today. A couple of bay leaves.
I use in almost everything. When I cook rice, a bay leaf goes in. When I fry onions, a bay leaf goes in. There's this beautiful aromatic flavor you get from bay leaves. Garlic. We love garlic, right?
Yep.
No.
Get out. The entire Italian half of your family just went, no, they've written you off. No, it's ridiculous.
Okay, a little bit of garlic is good. And because we're pickling it, it's going to slowly give some garlic flavor. Is it the breath?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Okay,
You've
we'll
got
sort
the
that out
accent.
later.
You're fine. You've got the accent. You're
Okay.
cool, man.
So that's all in there. Now, that's our base. From here, what you can do is you can pickle. Name some things that you can pickle. Can I tell you one of the
Picante.
weirdest... What? Sorry, what?
Picante.
Yeah, there we go. Picante peppers, carrots. One of the weirdest things I ever had in a restaurant was a pickled frankfurter.
Well, we're not going to pickle a
And it
frankfurter
was delicious.
today. No,
It was
we're going to
great.
pickle our
Okay.
cucumber. So we've literally got seconds left of the
Okay.
show, so we're going to
Quick.
wrap up with the pickles.
What I did was I put some salt on the pickles to draw that excess moisture out, and that's it. Maybe that strong flavor that you and I don't like. Some of that flavor comes out. Then when I add the liquid to it, like when we brined our chicken, next time when it held in all that moisture, salt comes out, add the pickle to it,
And there you
then
have
we got
it.
pickled cucumbers.
Baldo, you're a superstar. We love you, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you guys at home for joining us for another Culinary Hotline Bling.